Happy Saturday, and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Boiling Point. So, here at the Boiling Point, we will be covering local politics, local news, and even the local elections. And we're going to start today. So, the local elections, guys, are practically here. And today we're going to put our attention on New Cumberland. Now, before you guys go and cast your vote, I will definitely encourage you to research your candidates, their values, politics, and ideologies. Because nowadays it's too easy for you to be deceived because these candidates can actually cross file and they'll tell you, they'll actually come to the door and tell you that they stand for something that they do not. We have seen that, we are seeing that currently with the school board election, but that's for another day. Okay. So unless you go out and research these candidates by yourself and speak to these candidates, and I mean all the candidates, okay, that's the only way you're going to make your um, educated election, your educated decision as to who you believe can take this small town and push us forward and start correcting some of the issues that we currently have in our small town. And I thank God that this week I was speaking to a couple of friends and people that I know um, about the elections here in New Cumberland because wow, it was an eye opener. It was an eye opener, and I pretty much know who I'm voting for. Okay, but what is happening? Why am I here today? Okay, well I'll tell you. Um, as we know, the race for mayor is upon us. And it is time to put our thinking caps on, folks, and not our blindfolds. In a town as divided as ours has been lately, leadership should be about unity, not name calling. Yet, here we are with candidate Joan Ernie publicly branding conservative voices and Republican voices as racist, hateful, Nazis, and ignorant. That's not just a red flag, it's a whole parade of them. If you're running to represent everyone, maybe, just maybe, don't start by insulting half of the town. We need a mayor who can handle disagreement without a meltdown. Someone who sees diversity of thought as a strength, not a threat. Someone who respects freedom of speech, freedom of thought. Someone that understands that just because you disagree with somebody else's point of view does not mean that you hate them. Because that is the mentality nowadays of our society. If you disagree with me, that means that you hate me. No, it means that you disagree with me. You have another way of thinking. That's all. So, keeping all this in mind, let's let's vote smarter. We have to vote in a very smart way by educating ourselves as to what their views, ideology, and what they stand for really is. Let's vote for someone who doesn't need a muzzle or a mop every time they speak. So I can hear it right now. Some of the people, oh, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. She's making it up. She is so hateful. She is a phobe. She is a this. And she said, okay, am I making it up? Well, let's see if I'm making this up. Okay. These are Joan Ernie's own words on her Facebook account. She says, I'm sad, scared, and angry at my fellow citizens for electing hate over promise, racism over acceptance, ignorant over intellect. This feels like the beginning of a Nazi regime. Read history. To my Democrat friends, we have allowed this to happen. To my Republican friends, we need to rely on you to not allow Donald Trump to go unchecked. So she is insulting. If you read this in context, you can say, well, she's talking about Trump. She is and she isn't. She is and she isn't. What she's basically saying is that the people that voted for him, and they weren't all Republicans, let's just make that clear, okay? The people that voted for him are people who embrace hate, racism, ignorance, and the idea of a Nazi regime. So obviously, this is a divisive person because, and she posted that a day ago, okay? You can see right under her name, a day ago. So we cannot have somebody in the position of mayor with these sentiments and feelings. First and foremost, it's a privilege for you to be a mayor. It's a privilege for you to be living on the United States of America. And as a mayor, you should have a little bit more wisdom and understand that you need to think before you speak. Now, I thank God that this came, forward, okay, that this was discovered because it shows us who she really is. It's like that biblical concept that says, out of the abundance of the heart speaketh the mouth. So this is not a mayor that's here to serve the community. This is a mayor that will only serve the community that aligns with her belief, ideologies, and politics. So, what do we do? What do we do? Very simple, guys. What we do is we vote the right way. We vote for a mayor that is willing to represent the whole community, work on bringing unity whenever possible, speaks with wisdom, surrounds herself with experienced people, experienced business people, people that understand what our community needs. And I will encourage you this November here in New Cumberland to cast your vote for CATHIE HEIKA because a mayor should not be divisive. And this mayor, Ernie, right here, by her own words, is showing that she is. So this November, say no to Joe Ernie and yes to CATHIE HEIKA. And while we're on that topic, okay, you also want to say yes to Frank Kelly for Borough Council. Now, Mr. Kelly and myself, we agree on some things and disagree on others. But I would never say he hates me, and I don't hate him. Why? Because we understand freedom of speech. And I might not agree with certain things, but I would die for his right to say it. And one thing you cannot say about Mr. Kelly is this: you cannot say that he's ignorant. Because this is a man that's wise, a business owner, well respected in our community, and at heart, because I've had conversations with him before, brief conversations like on election days and stuff like that. When it comes to it, he has the right intentions and the best intentions in his heart for New Cumberland. The other person you want to vote for is THADDEUS Eisenhower. Okay, we need people in Borough Council with backbones. And as of late, THADDEUS has shown us that he does have a backbone. Because these positions and these seats, guys, are not easy. They're not easy. And you have to be a person of conviction, a person of mental strength, and a person that's going to stand for the right thing. You do not necessarily have to agree with them. And they don't have to agree with you. But we must protect each other's right to say what needs to be said. And again, getting back to mayor, vote for Kathy Heika because again, a mayor should not be divisive. And you can say, well, she was talking about Donald Trump. Yes, she was. Okay. But she was also talking about the people that she thinks that supported him. And in her mind, anybody that supported him, and she only thinks it's Republicans. No, there were Republicans and Democrats are supporting him. But she believes that whoever in New Cumberland supported the current president of the United States, she believes they are hateful, racist, ignorant, and will embrace a Nazi regime. So, New Cumberland, November 2nd. Kathy Heika for mayor. God bless.